It has been more than 100 days since journalist Evan Gershkovich was taken into Russian custody on charges of espionage. Gershkovich pleading not guilty, and the U.S. government designating the American who remains in a Moscow prison wrongfully detained.
GMA anchor George Stephanopolous sat down with Gershkovich's parents for this broadcast exclusive. Take a look.
How are you?
Holding up. That's the best that we can describe.
And how about Evan? What are you hearing from him these days?
Well, Evan is writing letters. We have ongoing conversation. He tries to take care of himself. He meditates, he watches his diet, he exercises. He has 1 hour of walk outside of
That's
his cell.
His exercise?
Yes.
And I know in his letters home, he's maintained his sense of humor.
Yes.
Even teasing you about the breakfast you used to serve?
Yes, my cooking.
Tell me about that. He says that the breakfast in Lefortovo prison reminds him of breakfast at home. That didn't upset you?
No, I thought it was funny, that I insisted on oatmeal, that I thought it was very healthy, and now it's laughing matter.
Gershkovich's parents, who fled the former Soviet Union in 1979, have traveled back to Moscow twice since Evan's arrest. And at a hearing in June, we're allowed to speak with him. We all saw that video of you speaking to him. What was he saying?
Joking immediately. He about my story. I share a lot of stuff like that that make him laugh.
It sounds like your son is maintaining his spirit.
Yes.
He is.
Where does he find the strength?
He took after Ella. He's an American kid. He's just staying strong.
You say he's an American kid. You both grew up in the Soviet Union.
Yes.
But met here in the United States.
Yes.
And you raised Evan and his sister Danielle with a love of Russian culture. Is that fair?
Yes. I think I always persuaded them and it was important to me to carry on the memory of my parents that they've never met, their grandparents, my grandparents, and the sense of the culture. Even that outside of our home, he had American friends, did sports, everything American. He taught me to understand American football, stuff like that.
Gershkovich was detained by Russian security services in March and is being held on charges of espionage, charges the U.S. and Journal both firmly deny. Evan has pled not guilty.
Yeah, he considered it both a privilege and responsibility that he was accredited and that he was a foreign journalist, not a Russian, and he was one of few people who could report honestly what he saw, where a lot of people who were working there cannot say as much as they did. So.
Were you worried for him? Did you ever try to talk him out of it?
Well, I was worried. But he was always, especially the succession of articles about Putin, about economy came out. I got really, really worried. And he was always telling me, Mom, I'm accredited. I'm allowed to be there. I can be here there. But there was always in the back of my mind that he could run into trouble.
And I know that when you heard he was in Lefortovo prison,
yes.
You were horrified.
Horrified. Absolutely horrified.
What did you know about it?
Well, back living and learning about all those dissidents going into Lefortovo and, Stalin era, mostly. The name horrifies you.
Last week, confirmation of talks about a possible prisoner exchange. We saw the news last week that the Russians came out and said that the negotiations have started, and the United States response was, we don't want to raise false hopes. That must have been a very difficult couple of days for you.
It was, but, well, we understand that they need to do it in private. It shouldn't be public. We don't know much about it, but we're still, very, very optimistic that it's going in the right direction.
What worries you going forward?
That every day it's a day too long. We, of course, would like him to get back home as soon as possible, but we understand it's a long process, and we need to have all the strength to survive this time until he gets back.
And you can see more of George's interview tonight on Nightline.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.